America. It is the Still Dope Podcast. You know me. I'm Tanya.
I'm Shahida.
And I'm Tanya.
Hey, T. Well, we all know who you is, Chris. So,
Chris Williams.
I like your haircut.
Fine, Chris Williams. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right? Go ahead, Harlan.
I like your color in your hair.
Love that color in your hair. We just changing up. We changing up.
We ready for the hot girl summer shit.
Big life crisis going on.
Listen, midlife, but we times 3 look good as fuck.
There you go. There you go.
Amen. Don't let me get my. Oh wait.
Oh, is that a celebration of the last episode of Mary?
Oh,
there's one more. There's another one after this that is like 6 months later or whatever. Yeah, they showed a preview of. I was like, can you just end it?
Just end it already.
They did show some of the new Houston coming too.
Okay.
I can't wait for Houston.
Full disclosure. This is going to be a Tanya and Chris podcast because Shahida's going to be asking questions because she did not watch that shit. Did not do the homework.
It was more of a recap with Dr. Pepper and Pastor Cal. It was more of like a recap. What did you think about the whole thing? And I did like that they were up front about Chris and stuff. And so they went through each one of the couples and what they thought. And who said what's the one with the bad dress? She had giant.
Oh, Viviana. She had the goddamn Big Bird earrings in her ear. She had these 2 earrings like this.
Earrings that were like
yellow.
This.
Like Big Bird was hanging both of his legs off her fucking her earlobes. She looked a hot mess. In America, I'm just gonna have to apologize right now. It's Friday night. I've got my drink and I've got my edible, so I might slur a little bit. But it is. Okay. Anyway, her fucking Big Bird earrings shook me. I was like, what the fuck are you wearing? Who's your fucking stylist?
But she was saying also about, that Haley did not try.
Okay, good. They put her out there. Dr. Pepper called her cold several times. She's very cold. She's very cold. And I was like, you already know.
Wow, really?
Pastor Cal kind of said, well, maybe I think it could have worked if, he was a little bit more fun or took her. And
I think that because they brought up, what was the couple from season 1, Chris? The bitch hated him. Doug and whatever her name is.
Yeah.
They brought them up during Haley and Jacob. And Kevin Frazier, I guess, brought it up, talking to him. And he's like, well, I guess we kind of thought that you would be the next Doug and what was her name?
Jamie.
I can't remember.
Something like that.
Doug and Jamie.
Jamie. That's right. Doug and Jamie. I think they just assumed that they were going to be the new Doug and Jamie. And by them bringing that up, I was like, side eye, because I'm like, now you're not really looking to make matches. Now we're just trying to be like, okay, it's a show. And let's see if we can have a Jamie and Doug part 2.
And Haley kept saying, well, I tried everything. I was really trying hard. And I mean, I did everything. I tried to communicate, but he wasn't. And I was looking at her like, no, you didn't. And he's just so resigned to her now. He's like, no, He
was so dismissive and so disgusted. He was so petty. And I loved every minute of fucking Jacob's pettiness with her. When Kevin was like, what do you think is like a good quality in him? Like, what did you see that was good in him? And she was like, he's a really nice guy. And this motherfucker was like, he did the pause. And I was like, bitch, I was watching that shit like this. Go ahead, Jacob. Jacob was like, she's got nice kneecaps. Bitch, I was like, low key shade. He's like, and said it with sanctity. He was like, she's got nice kneecaps.
The scene and they did outtakes. The scenes that you did not see when they were doing the we should do so and so exercises. Yep. Exercises, and they brought one out, and she said, let's hold hands for the rest of this exercise. And he's like, that's not that bad. I mean, and she was like, I don't like holding hands. I don't like doing this. I don't like.
Right.
He held his hand, and they were doing. She's like, why don't you kiss each other one time? She's like, I'm good with just the hands right now. Hands is enough. Mm-hmm. And I was like,
so it basically proved the point when she was like, you're lying to him. I tried. She didn't try shit. She didn't want to do nothing with him.
She didn't.
Nothing.
She didn't want to have anything to do with it. She didn't like him.
She was repulsed by him. And he kept saying it. He was like, she just did not like me. She could not stand me.
So, I mean, honestly, I think it was more than just his look and more than just his personality. Did that really turn her off? Because that sounds almost like you just hate somebody.
Well, she learned to hate. She grew to hate him.
Okay.
I think she grew to hate him because he wasn't being like. After a while, he wasn't trying anymore because she shut him down so much.
Yeah.
So much from the beginning. The beginning. She did not
after the honeymoon sex, the shit sex, the garbage sex that I call it, they didn't bring no chemistry to the bed.
I know she said it was her, but I keep going back. We don't know that that she sucked at in the bedroom.
Right. I think it was just garbage sex between the two of them, but she took it to a whole nother level and was like, yeah, I'm out. I can't be married to this.
If it was garbage sex, she still could have been nice to him.
A little bit nicer.
Just to get through the whole 6 weeks or whatever it is. She still could have been like civil and like, it's just not going to work out between us, or at least try. She was just cold. She was cold.
Well, she's like her mother. And I was glad when they showed him the video of her FaceTiming her mom and asking for the bracelet back. And you could see the two of them. Listen, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. We are products of who raised us and birthed us. And her mother was just as cold and insensitive and bitchy.
Was there something else that I missed in that call? Because I remember when she called it, you said that. Was there something?
She called her mother. She FaceTimed her mom, and they played it. That was Jake's. I'm assuming that was Jake's first time watching that exchange. And after, him and her had the whole thing about the fucking bracelet, and they showed it, and she's just sitting there, her face, her chin goes into her chest, and she's got a whole pie face, and Jake's just sitting there watching it, and the mother, she's talking to the mother, talking about, yeah, I'm going to need you to send me that bracelet back. And the mother was like, oh, Jesus, if he was going to be that way about it, he should have never bought it for you in the first place. Okay. And I'll just send it to you overnight. She's like, I'll just send it to you overnight. And if push comes to shove, I'll get in the car and drive it to you myself. Okay. They were just so nasty about a basic ass bracelet. It was a basic bracelet.
It was a gift.
But it wasn't a bracelet. It was the intent behind it.
Right. It was a gift.
And she was 100% wrong. I will say this until I'm dead. She was 100% wrong. You marrying a fucking stranger. And he, as a man, had the wherewithal to say, I'm going to send. That's what most couples do the day of their wedding. They send each other a gift. He didn't have to, but he did.
An $800
I would have put it on. And the fact that she didn't know that it was a bracelet and not a necklace,
right?
That just tells me that you just did this with the box. No. Like you didn't even take it out.
And gave him a $20 baseball cap.
Exactly. Why the fuck would I do that? $20? That was more like $15 from the Walmart in Alabama. Come on now.
So
maybe less.
They started off the whole thing with our boy Chris.
Of course, with Pastor Dwight.
He was leaving. He said, I refuse to be on the show unless Pastor Dwight is not there. Because he was disrespectful. Mm-hmm. So that's the only way he got in the car. Paige got in the car with him to say, Oh,
wait. Not only did that bitch get in the car with him, but got in the car, shut the door, and was like, you've been doing so good. Wow. She was fucking stroking his ego. I'm like, bitch. And then I wanted to snatch her out. It's not on video. It's the audio. Because the producer.
She got in the car with him after she saw that video of him saying.
Yep. Yep. Falling out. Yep. Yep. When he ran out in the parking lot, she goes following him. And when he got in his car, slammed the door, she got in the passenger side, shut the door, and the producers are out there. And now you hear the audio where all you hear her is saying, "You've done so good. You've said the right things." And I'm looking at the TV like, bitch.
But I feel disrespected. He was like, he's part of my family. Yeah, I feel disrespected.
Right.
I used a correction, but
But can we please can we please, I'm going to give that bitch a shout out. Page's friend, Nancy. Nancy stole the motherfucking show. Nancy was respectfully ghetto. And I saw all of me and Nancy as her friend. That would have been, if Paige was my friend, I would be Nancy showing up on the couch with my hair did and my nice dress on, going in. So but I'd be going in.
One of the things she's like, he was this, that, and the other. She's like, but he has his issues. But if I saw him in an alley, I can't tell you what I would do to him.
Yeah.
I mean, to that extent, she's like, Paige she's a queen, and I wish and they showed the clip. Remember the first time he talked to her girlfriend?
It's at the wedding. Yes.
And she said, well, what kind of girls do you usually like? He's like, from Atlanta. He told them from the beginning.
He told her to her face, not her. Remember, he said when they showed that clip and she owned it as the friend, she's like, I should have known from the wedding because they rolled the clip and they were like, well, what kind of women are you into? And he basically said to them, not your bitch.
Right.
Like, that's what he should have said. He didn't say that, but he was like, well, it wouldn't necessarily be Paige.
Okay.
But I see why he's like, maybe they're. What did he say? What did he say that the expert said? She's the woman that I need, not the woman that I want.
Right.
To her friends. Bitch, you know me. I don't even know Paige, and my blood pressure's going up right now. If I was at your wedding of Married at First Sight and that motherfucker said that shit to me, oh, please believe me. At your Married at First Sight wedding, they would be shutting down the cameras because I'd have grabbed a bottle and broke that shit over that nigga's head real quick and be like, don't you ever talk about my bitch like that. She's the woman that you need, but not the woman that you want.
Yeah, it was this, but she's still. I don't get her.
But she also low-key shaded Paige, which I loved because that's what good friends do.
What did she say?
I'm not only gonna shade this monkey that you've been with and dicked you over on national TV, but now I'm gonna call you out because she said, basically, I love my friend,
right? But
she's like, Paige is a better person than me, and that's why I'm not. Yeah, no, wouldn't be me. Like she's like, I guess that's why we're friends. Because Kevin Frazier called her out and was like, all of America was like, where's Paige's friends? Where are her friends? And she's like, and she that's where she went on Paige and she was like, we were there and we were talking to her. She's like, but
there's only so much you can do.
There's only so much you can do. And she's like, we've talked to her, but Paige is not me.
Right.
She's like, she had it in her that this was God's, once again, God up above is like, please keep my name out your goddamn mouths. Because she's like, she was all about God had this plan and this path for her. And now here we are.
You think she'd be that way?
That's why they stepped back.
You said what?
I think she would be that way with any man. Like if a man that she just started dating, she's going to automatically say that, God has put her on that path with this person. And, they treat her a little bit nice. I don't think she just has any self-esteem or any backbone whatsoever when it comes to men. I'm quite sure her girlfriends and family were probably there trying to say like, no, look at how you feel right now. Look at, and literally look, she looked at that video and saw the things that he said and still got up and got in a car with him.
Yeah.
and was like literally stroking his ego.
No.
And I agree with you, Shahidah, that I don't think this ain't the first time her friends have dealt with this with her, because Nancy was way too calm about it and talking about it. She was kind of gangsta, but it led me to think that this ain't the first time.
I think
that 4 pages, calling on Jesus
and do just about anything. But if all he needs to do is come back and say some sweet words to her, and she'll feel like, you know what, I owe him the opportunity to make this up for me.
I mean, the fact that they went to counseling and the fact that they tried to live together again after the fact, bitch, please, you dumb. I don't like to call people dumb, but yeah, she dumb on that one. Yeah. That was some stupid ass shit.
I don't know if she's dumb. She's just abused.
Okay.
I mean, the abuse leads you to do dumb things. I think her heart is in the right place because she really wants it so badly. She will supersede any fucking dumb shit. You know what I mean? She'll go over it because she wants it.
She dumb. She dumb. That's some dumb shit.
How do you think she's abused?
He mentally abused her.
It's not just Chris. I mean, literally, she walked in. You think that's not a situation that she hasn't lived before? I mean, we all know that we carry baggage from our parents or our family or an ex or something like that. The way she went in for him and excused every single thing, either it was for TV or
God, I don't even think it was abuse. I think she was if she's so religious like she says she is, it was all about God. Like, I know God chose this path. If I had $1 for every time she said, I know God chose this path for me. No, he did not, bitch. No. Pastor Cal, Viviana, and Peppa.
Of her maybe being in a situation like that before, or being wanting it so badly and actually being married, and his really good use of being an abusive, narcissistic, he's just he knows how to do that. That's not his first time doing that either. So if you get the right,
slick with it, I feel that's why I keep saying I think it would be any man.
You don't need to be slick with it. He didn't need to be slick.
She's already broken.
I think it's stupid. Well, yes. I mean, we don't know one way or the other, but I agree that there is obviously some component of her that is broken or has been broken before. But I think she wanted it so bad.
She did. And the fact that all of the girls, when they cut to the part where they were talking to all the ladies, they all were in agreement that she was the one, that she should have had her moment. And even Chris said she needs a do-over.
Oh, really? Like another show?
I don't know, but he just said she needs a new do-over. She needs a do-over. She deserves that. That's what he said. She deserves a do-over.
Wow.
Which I agree. And I think that if Lifetime was smart, I think Lifetime would have to have a whole they can do Married at First Sight, but they need to do a whole new show for fucking Paige. And it doesn't have to be her getting married.
I don't think
but like a dating, like goddamn, make Paige the goddamn next Bachelorette. But ABC ain't never gonna
I don't think I would watch it. She's uninteresting. There's nothing about
I wouldn't watch it now because I'm just done with her. Like I was rooting for her. And I was like, I feel like the first couple episodes, I think we were all rooting for her. Right. And now we got to this point, to the last show, part 2 of the finale. And you still running after this mofo and getting in his car and, stroking his ego. You did so good in there. I got time for that shit. I got time for that.
He did so well when he did his rehearse bit.
Right.
Right.
That's what was doing so well. That was it.
Right.
First, wrote it out. He had his plan. Pastor Dwight was a monkey wrench in something.
Well, Pastor Dwight was the network nail in the coffin. It was a Jerry Springer moment when Kevin Frazier was talking to Chris and Paige, and all of a sudden he brings up Pastor Dwight and the whole Pastor Dwight and Paige meeting. Oh, guess what? It's like a Jerry Springer episode. Oh, we have Pastor Dwight. Come on out, Pastor Dwight. Here comes Pastor Dwight with his too tight man suit and his man brooch. So look at my Chris and sits down and then what happens? It's a Jerry Springer moment. They go right on in because Pastor Dwight is like, he doesn't like correction. Oh, nigga, what?
So what did the professionals say about him?
He said he lied to us.
He lied, yeah.
He lied to us of who he represented, who he was, and he wasn't that person. And we thought we vetted him, but we didn't. And we were glad that we got at least 3 couples out of 5. You know, they were happy about 3 out of 5.
Bitch, they cut their loss.
Yeah, they just said, you know, he lied to us. We thought it would be good, but it wasn't. And the Haley one,
they really said we vetted him. We thought we vetted him.
Yes.
He lied to us. He said he wasn't ready.
Huh?
He wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready.
But he lied to them, supposedly.
Basically.
And
they got to cover their ass.
I believe that he did lie, but I also believe that if you're professionals in relationships, that you should be able to pick up on some of the.
That I keep trying to tell you. Different thing.
I agree with you.
On paper, they're perfect. If he was attracted to her, and he has that narcissism, and she's that sub.
But that's the thing. You don't see his narcissism in an interview.
But even what I'm saying, even if he's a narcissist and he liked how Paige looked, it would have looked perfectly because she wanted
a sociopath.
She was fine. If she was like this little Indian, whatever he wanted, the Atlanta girl that he said, you know, Puerto Rico, whatever she looked, how he liked a woman to look, and she acted the same way, it'd be done. They'd be beyond Vincent and Brianna because religion had them. He was dominant. He's submissive. If he had just liked how she looked, her face that he didn't like, if he liked her face, it'd have been on and popping. He
liked her. He loved her from the neck down.
We wouldn't have even heard about Mercedes. We wouldn't even
damn
heard
right.
about Mercedes.
You right.
Yeah.
If he was what she wanted, if she was what he wanted, he'd have treated her much better, I think. Or if he treated her like shit, he wouldn't want to let it go. He didn't care about her. He could say whatever the fuck he wanted. He said, I don't like her face. And she still don't say. Because I know if you're that bold to say, knowing it's going to be on camera, yes, my wife, and Pastor Cal says, well, what is it? He's like, I just don't like her face.
And the fact, and wait, when they played it for her, Chris, when they played it for Paige, and she was, I will say, I've lost a lot of respect and sympathy for her, but it was at that moment where they replayed that shit for her, and my whole soul came out because I was like, I related to her like if I was sitting on national fucking TV and having a man discuss my personal appearance for the fucking whole world to see, I wouldn't know how to react.
Not only that, he did it months ago.
Right. And was so disgusting about it. And he was like, you give me this. Ugh, you give me
don't know. And
this ugly ass bitch.
If someone said something about you that someone said it 3 months ago, and you're still dealing with them all the time and tribulations, and then 3 months later, someone says, oh, this is what he said to you about it. It's like, I don't like her face. She should be like, you know what, motherfucker?
Or
smack him, or beat his ass, or take her earrings, whatever. She had every right to be like, but she was just like, well,
I
felt defeated. That was her thing. I was defeated.
I remember
it was crushing
her face, but I didn't remember what she said.
That's just not.
That's not cool. That's not cool.
Not
but again, she still ran after his ass and got in the car.
I'm still gonna put 60% that the professionals fucked up. It was on them.
I'm giving them a full 100%. They fucked up.
I don't know.
feel
I think he's good enough to manipulate and come across as you don't know until what they're going to actually be like in a relationship. But if he's saying, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want, and they give him that, but it's just not how she looks. I'm telling you, it would have worked if he liked how she looked.
I agree. You're 100%.
Oh, I think they'd be still married today if she looked good.
You think they should have set him up with red-boned someone, whatever?
Yep, exactly. Because that's exactly what he said when he was talking to Pastor Cal and about that. It was my brain was like, this Negro he knows what he's saying, but he ain't gonna come out and say it. He wanted a long-haired, light-skinned black woman,
kind of like Mercedes.
Exactly.
Exactly. We saw it when Mercedes showed up. Yeah. She had the long, cute little straight hair. She was black, but a little bright skin to her, and she had all the features and all that. He don't want that black bitch, and that's the problem today.
But Kevin also asked him, and she's like, "Why'd you still have sex?" He said,
"He's a fucking man."
No, why? And they're like, "Well, we don't."
They said they didn't want to answer that question.
We don't want to talk about that.
First of all, she's stupid as fuck because you are not going to speak for me. Like, yes, legally we may still be married, but this marriage is over as far as I'm concerned. But you will not speak for me. When he's like, well, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to discuss this. And I'm like, who the fuck is we? There's never been a we with you two.
I'm telling you.
And the fact that Paige let him fucking speak for her was disturbing to me.
If he liked how she looked, the judges and the Pastor Cal, they would have looked like gods.
Absolutely. Can I just throw something in here? Because I agree with you. If he was attracted to her,
yes,
it would have been a different story. But I think what gets lost about Chris is Chris has a whole lot of other issues. And I do think that a woman would have came in there. One of the biggest issues he does have is exactly what Pastor Dwight said. He does not like to be told that he's wrong about anything. He doesn't like to be criticized about anything.
No.
And a new wife is going to find some criticism, whether it's some light-skinned woman that he really wants. So his anger would have came up.
Yes, but a badass bitch who's married to him and was like, no, you need to stop with the so-and-so and someone he respected. He didn't respect her at all. If some woman came in and she said some shit like, oh, I went out for breakfast, and she said, motherfucker, we're married. Don't you ever do that shit again, or I'm done. And he
exactly.
And he had sex with her, and the sex was bomb, and she was like, no, don't you ever do. From the beginning, when he tested her by saying, oh, I just went out for breakfast for 4 hours and didn't tell you where I was going and came back. And if it was a regular woman who was like, and she was bad, she'd be like,
you already know.
Don't do that shit again, or I'm gone. You're gonna lose this pussy.
He ain't never gonna do that shit again.
Like, okay, all right. Let me see.
Because as a bad bitch, we'd be like, yep. Yeah.
He would have
married at first sight. We'd be like, I'm gonna cut you this solid this one time because we just got married at first sight. So you do you, boo boo. But after yesterday or last night, what you ain't gonna do is you ain't gonna do that shit again.
But he said, oh, she's not even gonna question it, and I don't care about her or respect her. So who gives a shit? But if he liked it and he liked the pussy and he liked how she looked, it'd be like, oh, okay. He wants someone to stand up to him.
Mm-hmm.
That he wants and respects, because I think he respects his mother.
But his own mother don't even stand up to him, because as we watch the series, his mother would say just enough, and then he'd shut it down. He'd go there and he'd be like, well, and
that's why I honestly think if it was someone who he really wanted, he's been waiting for someone to step up to him that he really wanted, and he didn't get. I'm telling you,
that's right. That's right. That's like any man.
You nailed it. I agree.
That's like any man at this day and age. You can listen. If you want to let them walk all over you, go ahead, and they will. But when you start cracking that whip,
He wanted to be someone like, no. If it was like Brianna's personality, because Brianna wouldn't have taken that shit. I think
Brianna said it right off the rip when that shit came down. She's like,
Brianna would have been, Brianna's personality looked like Mercedes. You know,
yes,
he'd have been all in. He'd have been all in and lowered his whole ego down to okay.
And that's why he was all into Mercedes, and then Mercedes had the miscarriage, and he was all crying on Instagram.
He wants a challenge.
Yep.
He wants a challenge.
But most men want a challenge. Of
course.
Listen, like they always say, you don't want it if it's that easy.
That's anybody.
You don't.
So they said Chin and Elf.
All right, Chin and Elf.
He said, my dream's my dream.
Yeah, they set him up with the I love you.
My
and
dream.
She fell for it hook, line, and sinker.
That was last week.
Yeah, that was last week. That was 2 weeks
last
ago.
week, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that was last week. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What did the professional say about?
No, this week was just about Jake and Haley.
Oh, really?
Well, it was they did everything. They said, they're really happy that they're all the couples. They hit it on the mark with every single couple. And then Kevin, which one was Kevin said he got it wrong with Chin and Elf. Did you see that?
Yes, because they had the first episode before Married at First Sight started.
We watched it. Remember?
Yeah, we did watch that. And then Kevin had said that Chin and Elf wasn't going to work.
What do you think of this couple?
Elf went in.
Right.
Elf went in on him.
And they replayed Kevin saying that.
Yes.
And he's like, okay, Kevin. He's like, you know what? I didn't think you guys were going to work. He's like, I give it to you. I didn't think it was going to work. And
we all saw why it ended up working, because she ended up bending to all of his will.
Basically.
Bending to all of his will.
Just like his mustache. Just like his mustache. Just curled right up.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to take the hat off so bad so I can see the hair. Make sure that he's
there's no hair there.
Or something.
I don't know if he's got that swoop back there. Yeah.
Please.
I didn't like the fact that I was hoping, because they had said that they were going to because Kevin Frazier was like, you have a new announcement to make. And I'm like, what the fuck announcement is this? That you fucked? That you fucked or that you love her? So I was thrown when she said, Chin was like, we're going to get married again and renew our vows, because we have a lot of friends and family that obviously weren't available. We couldn't have them there at the Married at First Sight ceremony. So we're going to do it again.
Do that before she said, I love you.
Right. Yeah. And it took the fact that she was willing to do that. And they had it. It's planned. Oh, it's planned. So then it got to the point where Kevin's like, well, let's address the elephant in the room. Have you told her you loved her, and have you consummated the marriage?
You saw that, right, Shahida? You didn't see that part?
I did. I saw that last week.
Yeah.
It's this week I missed.
But this week he said it to him again, and with regard to, consummating the marriage was last week. I digress. This episode was, do you love her? And then he paused again. Listen to me. If you love me, and if you are in love with me, and someone asks you, do you love her? I don't care if I'm sitting next to you or down the street. If someone asks you, do you love Tanya? Motherfucker, if you love, you better be like, yeah. Don't be like,
For sure. He said, it's my dream. They did a montage with him just saying, that's my dream.
Sure.
That's my dream. That's my dream. It's like,
It's my dream.
Yeah, that's my dream.
Oh, don't kill my dream. Don't kill my dream.
That's all the him is his dream.
That is
okay. So Kevin Frazier asked him if he loved her, and he paused, which was problematic for me.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he looks at her, and another thing that creeped me out is when they sat down next to each other, and he's like again, stage 5 clinger. I'm not a touchy-feely person like that, but he sat down right next to her, and he put his arm over her shoulder and was like holding her shoulder. Like, why can't you just put your arm around me, like grab my ass or something, or my waist? He had his hand the whole time like this on her shoulder, and he's like, bitch, be careful.
No, I don't think
that's where I was coming from. That I was taking that away. Like, bitch, be careful. I'm gonna squeeze your shoulder, bitch. Be careful.
Oh,
she hit it. One thing I liked about the episode is they show a little different side of Vincent.
Oh,
they showed a Never Before Seen clip where he's at the bachelor party and the stripper.
Yes.
In a cage, and she's like, "So you're getting married?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm getting married." He's like, "Yeah, I'm getting married tomorrow." She's like, "I haven't even met her." She's like, "Well, what if it was me? I mean, what if you didn't see me with her?" He's like, "I'd be okay." I'd be like, "Yeah, I'd be okay with that."
She's like, "Ow.
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, right." She was all, the pastries and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd be happy with that." And he's like, "Can we just stop with it?" And they cut to him with Brianna. But that show kind of like a little bit of like, "Oh, okay, Vincent, I see you got a little, swag. You ain't all just like, love struggle."
He's got a little taint on his dick. Shit, come on now. He's a man, and he's a fucking Dominican.
What else did they talk about with Brianna and Vince? Oh, the new house, right? Didn't they show the house? Oh, that's coming in the upcoming episode. They're gonna.
Yes, I didn't see that. No, she's living in the apartment with him. So I didn't see the house. I didn't watch the upcoming episode.
Too much. I'm like, I did not want to watch it. I did not. I don't care about anybody anymore.
Right. I'm
glad that Brianna.
And I'm not watching the next episode. Not sorry.
I'll watch it for the three.
Yeah.
All right. When it comes on, text me if I'm available. I'll watch it with you.
They didn't say much about Drunky and Derek.
Virginia and Eric. Yeah.
Eric, yeah.
Well, because the only thing they brought up with Virginia and Eric was when the men were talking, and was it the men or the men and the women or the women when they were talking about? Remember when Chris left on the bus in Vegas,
right?
And so like both Chin and Eric were like, "Well, you're not going to talk to my wife like that." And I'm like, well, that's great for you to say that now, because when that motherfucker was going in, I watched that whole video, and Elf was like next to Chin, like,
No, yeah, he didn't say anything.
Both of them were silent.
Not to get involved, remember?
Right, exactly. And he was one of the ones like the reunion talking about, well, you're not going to talk to my wife like that. And I'm like, well, but he did. And you did nothing. You didn't stick up for your wife. And you are a black man, and you should have knocked that motherfucker's teeth down his goddamn throat.
For sure. But he's not that type of dude, though. He's not that type of. He's so
active and killed my dream. Not my dream.
Never tells you he's happy or sad. He's like a robot almost. He's like,
yes,
like this. It's
like he's programmed. It's like he's a programmed robot.
And they didn't say anything much about. I don't remember much about the alcoholic and the. We're so mean. With
Virginia and Eric.
You said we're so mean with these names.
Virginia and Eric.
They didn't really say anything with them, right?
No, they didn't.
They brought her mother on. They brought
the mother was the first reunion.
The first one, right?
Reunion episode 1. Yeah, she saw it with the mother.
I don't think they just had the women together, and Kevin interviewed them, and then like them all going to. Travel together. Did you hear about that?
I saw that. I actually saw them traveling together. I saw it on Instagram or something. They went. The women went away together.
They went to Mexico.
Okay,
they're all friends. They're all friends.
And they all still keep in touch, and they all have their group text. Like the men have their own group text together, and the women have their group text together. And yes, Paige is a part of it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm done with this.
I'm over it, but I ain't gonna sit here and trip. I can't wait for fucking Houston, because Houston is gonna bring the fuckery.
Well, you saw the previews. Did you see the previews?
When he's like, I know her. I saw that shit, but
I didn't see that.
That happened last season with New Orleans when
Woody's
the weirdos.
Woody and
the weirdos.
Woody's best friend.
No. Well, that, and then the one, what was the two weirdos? The doctor.
Yeah.
And
they didn't know each other. You're right.
They did know each other, because remember when she came down the aisle, he's like, I know her. And I was like, ooh, that's not good. But then it was a good thing. So now that I see it on this new preview of Houston when he's like, I know her. I'm like, are we really going to do this again?
Now look, 3 out of 5 couples staying married. That's pretty successful for a random show.
But they were not likable.
Huh?
They weren't likable.
Yeah, but their goal is not to have them likable. The goal is to keep them married.
Oh no,
that's
I know
right.
you're saying
Yes.
for the viewer.
That's the end game.
The viewer
to be married.
Yeah, but you can't tell who you're gonna like and who you're not gonna like. You can't tell that ahead of time.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, as far as like a good season, a good show, they did excellent with the 3 picks that they did well with. But I'm just saying the season was so boring for everybody else because no one had a strong couple except for Vincent and Brianna that they were rooting for. Nobody was rooting for anybody.
Well, no, we weren't rooting for anybody.
No, okay, come on.
People were rooting. I know people were rooting for Eric and Virginia, and
really?
I know people. I think so.
Oh, motherfucker, the MAGAs were rooting for Eric and Virginia.
When I'm on Twitter and I'm like, and I'm going through the conversations or whatever, nobody. Well, that's just what I saw. So I can't say everybody. I'm being that person. So,
but 3 out of 5 couples is not bad. That's pretty good. 3 out of 5 couples that's pretty good. It's pretty good. And if Haley even gave Jake a shot, that would have worked. And if Paige was a red bone, that would have worked.
Oh, with long hair. Well, she did have long hair. She had a weave. It was all good.
And a bootay too.
That booty was all in Dr. Dwight's face or Pastor Dwight's face, like pie. I was like, good Lord. I'm using your words now, Chris. Pop, 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 pie. I can't with you too. I love you guys. You guys are it.
Well, I'll watch the last one, so we'll have that one last 20 minutes to talk about it.
Yeah, okay. Well, you go ahead and watch the next episode because you owe us that. And I'm not watching. I'm done.
And then we'll come back and we'll
I'm done on that one.
Well, was there anything else on this episode?
Nothing.
We just wrap it up on that one.
Oh no, we're gonna wrap it up, and because next week it's gonna be on and popping.
And when does
probably Wednesday? I think I would imagine. Oh no, it starts
in July or June?
In June, I think.
It starts June.
Oh really? Damn, they're barely giving you a break.
Yeah. Well,
before we go, is anybody watching the show that comes on after?
Oh, the
Unmatchables? No, I haven't watched it. I just can't. I can't have that energy in my life.
I watched the first one, and I thought it was they're extreme people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like weird, extreme people that they were not likable to me. I didn't think either one of the first ones weren't likable.
Yeah.
And I think people are trying to be weird just to either be on the show or to stand out or, because the genuine weird dudes from New Orleans, you can't fake that weird. That is just straight up weird. You know what I mean?
Oh, you damn right. Yeah, that New Orleans weird.
He was so likable.
Yeah.
He was very likable. And you notice he got along with every guy there. Yeah. Everybody was just like, well, I can't remember his name, but everybody was just like, he's such a cool dude.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
But
all right, girls.
All right.
Good wrap up.
All right, y'all. Well, listen.
Wrap that up.
Wrap it up.
Good Memorial Weekend. Happy
Memorial.
Yes, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. And they about to listen. We are on the eve of no more masks in Massachusetts. And I don't know about y'all motherfuckers, but I'm going to still wear my goddamn mask. And I'm staying in the house all weekend because I ain't trying to get killed. Y'all ain't killing me up in there.
I had plans, but it's pouring, raining, and cold.
It's raining here now, but hey, Shahida, let's talk about Sunday. Let's do it.
You can do this. We can do this after we turn it off.
All right. Have a good night.
Oh yeah, let's turn it off. All right. Peace out. We'll see you next week. Hold on. Where's my mouse?